The view from this bed is incredible. So wake up, you look out this incredible, I say incredible like 5 times. Hold on. It is incredible. It is incredible. I can't stop saying incredible. The view from this bed is magnificent, stunning, breathtaking, gorgeous, amazing. Welcome to our long-awaited Dos Vistas project in Cabo. We worked on this with Brandon Architects for the architecture and Cabo Development Group on the build. This home is stunning, and I'm going to take you inside. This is our very first international project, and we're setting the bar really high. Our client has a large family, and they host and entertain, and this will be a spot for gathering. And on each wing of the home, there are bedrooms, and each room has a color palette theme so that it's easy to say, you're staying in the pistachio room. And you'll see that as we dive into the tour, but we're starting in the center and then we will work our ways to the ends of the home. The aesthetic goal was timeless and coastal. It's not about the obvious like turquoise and shell motifs. It is an indoor, outdoor living concept really through every single space. We have sourced a lot of the pieces from Mexico. Our team went on sourcing trips with our client, and we have collected vintage treasures, new ones, artisan pieces, and you will see that come through. We wanted to make sure that the color palette and the feeling really felt native to its surroundings. The center of the home is one very long continuous space, and I think that if you're working with a long space, you want to divide it into sections, but also really establish your central focal point, because the doors open up with this beautiful view, and so this became the center point. We started by designing the living room, and Brandon Architects incorporated this beautiful like arch throughout the architecture, and this incredible stone bridges the exterior and the interior, and this wall becomes a beautiful focal point. Our client really wants to be able to host and feel comfortable, so this is a fun orientation so that you can fit a lot of people. We did 2 of these sectionals facing each other, and then a massive coffee table that was made in Mexico as the center. In the layout, we have some continuous themes. We have the ceiling connecting all the spaces. The flooring is all connected. And so when you're standing in here, when all the doors are open, you just kind of feel like it's a breezeway, and that is the most incredible feeling. I'm going to take you over to this beautiful focal wall here, but because we have these continuous materials through all the spaces, it becomes really important to have a few moments to really stand out or shine through accents like this arched built-in or the brick in the herringbone pattern on the fireplace. Designing an international project is very different in the execution of furniture and accessories, and so our team brought several suitcases filled with accents, and then our client has been working to collect sentimental pieces as well. So now I'm going to take you over to the dining and kitchen area. In the dining room, we have this custom live edge table that is massive. This just has this beautiful, beautiful, soft and organic look. And then it's surrounded by these natural leather chairs with cushions to make them super comfortable, and then more collected pottery, which is something you'll see throughout. We wanted to make sure that all the light fixtures had a lightness to them, and so we have this long light that stretches across the length of the table, and it doesn't get in your way of the views that you see. I'm heading over to the kitchen. We have plaster walls on every surface in this home, and we have carried that into the kitchen on this range hood that really sets the central focal point with this amazing backsplash tile. It has a blue and white pattern throughout, and then we decided to do a more simple tile on the surrounding areas. We have this built-in here, and this is like overflow storage. We designed the cabinetry to all be one color, and that consistency keeps that calmness and that streamlined textural effect that you get throughout the home. We have the oak here that is a shade lighter than what you see on the ceiling, so we're playing with that tonality. And then one cool detail that I'm excited about is that we decided to forego doing a wood back to these cabinets and instead bring the tile all the way up with all of the wood throughout the kitchen and on the ceiling. It was nice to kind of break it up with this backsplash going to the ceiling here. If you've watched other webisodes, you have heard me talk about wood stains and getting it right, and it always takes me a few samples. Well, with an international project, it's even more extensive of a process because the local wood species are a little different than what we are used to typically, and so it required a few more samples. But this tone is absolutely gorgeous, and we have a matte finish on it, so nothing is shiny. We've done an antique nickel hardware, and it's very substantial, like large pulls, these large egg knobs, and that is tied in with the faucet here. You can stand at the sink and you can see all the way into the living room, but most importantly, you can see all the way to the ocean from here, which is pretty incredible. Because of that blue tone that you see in the ocean, that is really the accent color. Even though the home is very neutral, you'll see that consistent kind of like watery blue tone in every single space. This backsplash, each individual tile is its own shape. It's hand formed, hand painted, and you can see that quality. It is something that just feels very special. When we were designing this range, we knew we wanted to bring this hood all the way down so that we didn't get kind of like this floating effect with the open shelves. So we enclosed this so it feels more intimate and cozy. And our team was kind of playing with all the different ideas and things that we could do with this moment here. It had this kind of arch detail here, and then really wanted to add a shadow line. And when you play with depths, that adds interest in a really subtle way, but just kind of elevates everything. So we brought this out about like 1/2 inch, and so that you get that beautiful framing detail around here. And then our client really wanted open shelves, and I think that this is light and airy, just feels like the right thing to do around this range hood. When designing cabinetry, we often use a shaker profile, or we'll do a little bead detail or a bevel or reading, but in this kitchen, it was all about the materials, and so we did not do any of that. We kept it flat panel so that you could see that wood grain shine through, and it's an inset cabinetry, which is my favorite type of cabinetry, which means it's built with this framing detail here, and it's built more like furniture. When you can incorporate that detail, it just takes everything to the next level. Our team traveled to Round Top with our client to pick out vintage pieces and rugs, and I love a vintage rug in a kitchen because it hides a lot of dirt and it just already comes with character, which is nice when it's a high traffic area. I love looking for different vantage points in homes, and this one is one of my favorites because you stand here and you look all the way down to the entryway and out that beautiful steel door. On either side of the range, we have symmetrical steel doors. And instead of doing arched doors like the arched openings on the opposite side, the decision was to not overly arch everything and also mimic the steel doors that we have throughout the rest of the home. Beyond this cute plate wall, there is another kitchen. It is like an entertainer's dream. We've carried in the oak from the main kitchen and also the plaster, but we have done it in a new way. So we have a shaker style cabinet detail with a flat panel drawer. We've carried the same hardware. And then on the hood, we have continued the plaster, and we've mirrored that arch detail, but in a fresh way. So this little corner detail has the arch, and then it has this step kind of band that wraps around. And then this backsplash ties in with the backsplash that is on the surrounding edges of the main kitchen. I love little details like this where the builder has made the backsplash completely seamless with these plaster walls you can see here, so you're not seeing the edge of the exposed tile, which is like chef's kiss. And then back around this side, which I'm sure you were getting a peek of, this entire window system opens up to counter seating, and then you can see out to the pool and to the ocean. Whenever we're designing a kitchen or pantry, if we have a little bit of space that is not being well utilized, we will do little slots for cutting boards, and you can see that here. And it also just kind of breaks up the front of the cabinetry in a nice way as well. Beyond this stone arch, we have this perfect opportunity to highlight our client's artwork, and we mounted a solid piece of limestone that has this rough edge, and it really grounds this beautiful artwork here. Every room in the home has a different color theme, so we have incorporated that color in the built-ins, the rug, and the textiles. And in this home, because it is so large and it has a lot of guests coming and going, the request was for hotel bedding to make it completely uniform throughout and easily cleaned. But then we changed it up with everything else. The view from this bed is magnificent. This is a very lucky guest. So in the pistachio room, we went with a green built-in, and instead of it being just like a true like paint grade material, it's wood and then painted so that you get the wood grain coming through, and then we've styled it with collected odds and ends. This is the powder bathroom on the main level, and we've wrapped the lower half of the walls with a hand-painted tile in a great pattern, and then we've carried the plaster on the upper half for great texture, even though it's a solid tone. Then we have a stone trough sink. And then the focal point is all about this floating wood vanity here. We're gonna keep on moving to the bunk room. It has lots of color and personality, and I know you're gonna love it. This is the blue sage colored bunk room. We designed this really great cabinet detail here that has this kind of like stripe effect. And then it turns the corner and has this open shelf that is curved. We did oak bunk beds so that this tone ties back to what you see in the kitchen. And then one of the coolest details is the railing. We wanted to bring it to life with a Serape-inspired color palette. It is tied together throughout the artwork, the accessories, and all the textiles. In the ensuite bathroom, we have dual sinks with this great apron front detail. We incorporated the oak in this mirror detail here that has this little fluted effect. I cannot forget to mention these floors because the pattern is great, the texture is incredible, and I love that it has a neutral tone, but you're getting a strong hint of pattern. Up next, we have the terracotta bedroom, and you see that immediately when you walk in, and we have these great swivel chairs in the terracotta color, and you know immediately you have arrived at your destination. On the headboard wall here, we did a woven leather, a play off of that terracotta tone in a new texture, and incorporate that color again in this throw pillow here. Our client doesn't love nightstand lamps, and so you'll see mostly sconces and hanging fixtures throughout. I love these fixtures. They have a white glaze on a terracotta material. This bathroom incorporates a terracotta herringbone floor naturally, and it also wraps this glazed tile on all the walls, even behind the vanity up to the ceiling. The woven texture speaks to a coastal style. There is a secondary entrance here, and so we've treated it kind of like a lounge / locker area. So you get this beautiful architectural feature, and in this cabinet design, we have oak, but then a linen detail in this stripe. and then a vintage rug in this great ocean blue tone anchors it all. So as I reach the top of the stairs, off to one side, there is a door that leads to a rooftop deck. And we'll go there in a second, but first we're going to go down this beautiful hallway to the primary suite. So when you enter the primary suite, you walk into this really great vestibule. And it is the size of a whole other room, I know, but the views behind are absolutely stunning, just like the rest of the home. And that leads you into the bedroom here. Our client really wanted a serene primary suite with pale blue plaster walls. So we've done plaster on all of the walls of the home, and there's only a few bedrooms that got a change in color, and this is one of them. And then we tied in these like sandy natural tones. You can see that we're not going pattern heavy in this space on the pillows because we did a settee in a pattern. And then we had these nightstands made by a local artisan to incorporate this cutwork detail here. Over on this wall here, we have a long console, and above it, we have this Charlotte Terrell piece, and it really incorporates all of the colors of this bedroom and a lot of those like greens and blues that you're seeing throughout the rest of the home. We were left with an open area in the bedroom, and it seemed like the perfect place to put a desk at an angle so that you can enjoy this view. Brandon Architects designed these awesome corner door systems. So the entire corner of their bedroom opens up to this balcony here, and we have this glass railing so there is no obstruction of the view. Beyond this really beautiful louvered arch door is maybe one of the most incredible bathrooms I've ever seen. This is a solid stone tub. One of my favorite details in this space is what Brandon Architects did with the stone here. There is stone on this exterior wall and it carries through, and then you get this glass system that kind of wraps around here. It feels contemporary and streamlined. We did this vanity design with oak on the edges and then a grass cloth front, and then hop into this incredible shower. So it's massive. We have limestone on the floors, and then we did a Zalige herringbone inset on this back wall here. We have a few more bedrooms to show, but before we get there, I'm going to walk you through our client's office. All of the artwork has a personal meaning, and I love the masculinity and cowboy inspiration that we have going on here. We have the cowhide rug, and then naturally a saddle in the corner. There are two symmetrical staircases, but one continues all the way down to a basement. We got a lot of house to cover, so I took my shoes off. Can you imagine having this as your view from your home gym? All right, so let's head to the basement. So this is another little cozy seating area under the stairs. We have this massive mirror that helps kind of grab some of the borrowed light from upstairs. And then I will take you through the basement hangout spaces into these additional bedrooms. This is a really sweet bedroom. It is the lavender room, and we did a pair of double beds, and we have this really cute striped headboard fabric, a mix of eclectic pillows, and a really cute pleated ceramic light hanging over the nightstand. One of the only times I think that we will ever have the opportunity to a lavender plaster, and I love how it turned out. The ensuite bathroom is absolutely adorable with this hex tile that has a pattern that we created using kind of like a bluish green color and then a terracotta color, and this great vanity with kerf detail and hanging pendants in front of the mirror. Last bedroom of the tour. This room is a navy blue room. We did a neutral on the walls so that we could do the built-in cabinet with leather pulls in the navy blue and then tie that in with the textile at the end of the bed. This is our last bathroom of the tour. We did a plaster vanity, so you can see it's like completely integrated and connected. And then I think the best part is the patterned terracotta tile on the floors. As the sun sets, it is the perfect time to talk about this courtyard. Brandon Architects did a great job of creating this entrance, and it's so romantic. Each of these walls, we created these little potting areas where our client can pick up and collect new pots and plants. The most important thing about this courtyard is that you can stand here and see all the way through the home to the ocean. Really beautiful. No, you just want to stand here and like stare at it. I need this air in my life. You thought we were at the end of the tour. You have this private oasis with a hot tub, loungers, and of course a view. 4 days. I mean, it's pretty stunning. This wraps up the tour of our very first international project, and we will be sharing photos and tour details, but for now, just soak it all in.